Welcome to Breaking News to Trading Moves.
Glad to be here.
So imagine you are staring at your bank app on a Friday night. You want to order a pizza, but suddenly that $8 delivery fee and the driver tip just feel like a luxury you simply cannot justify.
Right. The math just doesn't work out.
Exactly. And you are not alone in that. Millions of consumers just made that exact same calculation, and it actually wiped out Domino's Pizza's sales expectations.
Yeah, that was a major miss for them.
It really was. So Domino's shares fell right after they reported a miss in U.S. same-store sales. And they also handed Wall Street a weaker annual sales outlook.
Which is very telling.
Right. And the core reason cited by the company, consumers are just pulling back on dining spending. So our mission today is to look at what this specific headline means for the broader food service sector.
Because that money has to go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. We are focusing strictly on identifying the winners and losers as consumers adjust their spending habits. Because when a $50 bill does not go to a pizza delivery, it travels somewhere else.
It absolutely does.
But before we track exactly where that money goes, I was hoping you could establish the mechanics of this current consumer environment for us.
Yeah, of course. Well, the mechanics are entirely driven by stretched household budgets. If you just look at the ledger, inflation and fuel prices dictate exactly where consumer dollars go.
Right, the non-negotiables.
Exactly. When the cost of basic necessities stays elevated, discretionary income shrinks. So the consumer is making hard, calculated choices.
Meaning that Friday night pizza isn't just an automatic habit anymore.
No, not at all. Now, it is a strict financial decision. They scrutinize the delivery fee, the service charge, the tip.
They are checking every line item.
Yeah, and the result is a highly cautious consumer actively looking for ways to stretch every single dollar, which, forces a brutal reevaluation across the entire restaurant industry.
But wait, pizza has historically been the ultimate cheap, recession-proof food, right?
So that is the traditional wisdom, yes.
I mean, families have relied on it for decades when money gets tight. So why are direct competitors in this space suddenly taking a hit? We are looking at Domino's Pizza, ticker DPZ, Papa John's, ticker PZZA, and the Pizza Hut portion of Yum Brands, ticker YUM.
Well, it is not the pizza itself causing the issue. It is the logistics of getting it to your living room.
The delivery aspect.
Right. The delivery ecosystem has entirely changed the equation. The extra fees associated with bringing food to your door they are the first line items eliminated from a tight budget.
It just adds so much to the final bill.
Exactly. A meal that costs $15 at the counter suddenly becomes a $25 transaction on the app.
Which is a massive markup.
Right. So to maintain their transaction volume and keep people ordering, these chains pivot to aggressive promotion.
Like the constant coupon codes and things like that?
Yeah, you start seeing the heavy discounting, the mix and mash deals, the constant digital coupons, the push for value pricing just to keep the ovens running.
But heavy discounting has a substantial cost, doesn't it? I mean, it feels like relying on a financial sugar rush.
A sugar rush is a great way to put it, actually.
Right, because you send out a massive coupon campaign, you get a quick spike in transaction volume. But doesn't that ultimately crash the baseline health of your profit margin?
The sugar rush analogy captures the financial flow perfectly. Heavy discounting combined with reduced order volume puts intense pressure on average order values.
Because they still have all those fixed costs to pay.
Exactly. A pizza franchise has rigid fixed costs. The rent for the building, the electricity for the ovens, and the hourly labor rates, they do not decrease just because you sold a pizza for $5 less.
Right. The landlord does not care if you used a coupon.
No, they don't. So when the average order value drops because of these promotions, the profit margin gets squeezed tightly. The baseline profitability of the franchisee takes the direct hit.
Wow. So if every single pizza chain relies on those aggressive promotions to win over the exact same cautious consumer, doesn't that just create a race to the bottom for profit margins across the board?
It absolutely creates a game of attrition. If a competitor offers a highly aggressive deal, a company feels compelled to match it just to maintain market share.
Which just hurts everyone's bottom line.
Yeah, and the secondary danger is training the consumer. Once you condition diners to only order when they have a coupon, you lose all pricing power.
Because why would I ever pay full price again?
Right, exactly. For companies like Domino's, ticker DPZ, and Papa John's, ticker PZZA, trying to claw back that profit margin while fighting a perpetual promotional war is a very difficult position.
Okay, let's follow that cautious spending right up the price ladder. If relatively affordable pizza is taking a hit, That financial pressure naturally travels to more expensive dining options, right?
It does, yes. It travels directly up the chain.
Let's look at casual dining and sit-down restaurants. We are tracking Brinker International, ticker EAT, Dine Brands, ticker DIN, and Bloomin' Brands, ticker BLMN.
Well, these businesses are highly vulnerable right now because they rely heavily on a much larger financial commitment.
Right, it is an event, not just a quick meal.
Yeah, they rely on discretionary family spending and higher average tickets. Sitting down for a meal at a casual dining spot involves appetizers, entrees, and crucially, alcohol.
Ah, right, the drinks.
Alcohol sales heavily pad the margins for these businesses. A beverage might only represent 15% of the total bill, but it often represents 40% of the profit on that specific table.
Wow, 40%. But if people are cutting back, wouldn't they just order a cheaper entree? Why does foot traffic drop entirely for these brands?
Because the entire value proposition of casual dining is the experience, not just the calories. When consumer confidence drops, foot traffic expectations face direct pressure.
So they just stop going altogether.
Well, the diner might not eliminate the restaurant entirely at first. They skip the appetizer, or they stick to water instead of a $12 cocktail.
Which eats into that high margin profit you mentioned.
Exactly. That lost high margin revenue hurts the bottom line long before the table even goes empty. And then once the budget gets tight enough, they abandon the casual dining experience altogether.
Man. And it is not just the evening sit-down dinners taking the hit either. The morning routines and premium lunches face the same barrier.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we have companies like Starbucks, ticker SBUX, Kava, ticker CAVA, and Sweetgreen, ticker SG. They are not competing with pizza, but they face a harsh reality regarding consumer habits.
The consumer mindset here centers entirely on eliminating the non-essential. When you feel the squeeze at the gas pump or the grocery store, you readily cut back on higher-priced food eaten away from home.
It is the easiest thing to cut.
Yeah. Routine to an occasional luxury. A stretched consumer simply cannot justify it every day.
Right, it is just too much.
It is much easier for a consumer to brew coffee at home or pack a lunch than it is to absorb a $20 daily charge just for the convenience of a premium fast casual bowl.
You know, think of a household budget like a physical structure. The mortgage, utilities, and groceries are the concrete foundation.
I like that analogy.
Thanks. And the premium coffees and casual sit-down dinners are the decorative elements at the very top. When inflation cracks the foundation, you do not repair it by ignoring the concrete.
Right, you have to prioritize.
Exactly. You strip away the decorative top to free up resources and stabilize the whole structure.
The consumer is absolutely securing the base of their financial structure. They are asking themselves how much they will keep spending on non-essential food away from home.
And the answer seems to be not much.
Yeah, the data suggests the answer is much less than before. Companies like Starbucks, ticker SBUX, and Kava, ticker CAVA, must navigate an environment where their product is seen as highly discretionary.
And they have expensive leases, right?
Exactly. These premium chains often operate in high-rent urban or suburban corridors. The fixed costs remain static regardless of the consumer's budget.
So if foot traffic drops, they are in trouble.
When transaction volume dips because the afternoon crowd decides to save their money, the unit-level economics suffer immediately. The leverage they rely on works entirely against them in a downturn.
But, people still have to eat, and they are not going to stop eating out entirely. They adapt.
Right, they find alternatives.
Yeah, instead of abandoning restaurants, consumers are trading down to cheaper options. This is where value-focused fast food captures the lost dollars. We are tracking McDonald's, ticker MCD, Wendy's, ticker WEN, and Yum Brands, ticker YUM.
Now, here is a vital nuance regarding Yum Brands, ticker YUM.
Okay, what is that?
Well, we noted earlier that their Pizza Hut division faces delivery pressure. However, their broader fast food portfolio, particularly Taco Bell, is positioned aggressively to win the trade-down consumer.
Oh, that makes sense. They capture the diner who is leaving the casual spot.
Exactly. The large chains capture diners looking for cheaper meals compared to casual dining. A family of 4 migrating away from a $60 sit-down check finds a $25 drive-through order highly appealing.
And the scale advantages for McDonald's and Wendy's must play a massive role here.
Like, massive. It is their biggest weapon.
I mean, they can sustain lower margins on individual value menu items because they drive immense national volume. They negotiate better prices on raw ingredients than a regional casual dining chain ever could.
They absolutely leverage their massive supply chains to maintain those entry-level price
But
points.
because they buy beef by the millions of tons.
Right. So when a consumer trades down from a $20 casual dining burger, a $5 meal deal at Wendy's, ticker WEEN, looks highly attractive. But, the real mechanism driving their success right now goes beyond just a printed value menu.
Oh, really? What is it?
It is their digital ecosystem.
Let's get into the mechanics of those loyalty apps then. I mean, a lot of companies have apps. Aren't consumers experiencing app fatigue?
Some are, sure, but the incentives override the fatigue.
So how does locking a consumer into a digital ecosystem actually give a fast food chain an edge when diner budgets are stretched?
It allows them to execute targeted value rather than broad discounting.
Targeted value, okay.
Think back to the pizza chains offering a blanket $5 deal to everyone. We discussed how that destroys margins.
Right, because even the guy who is willing to pay full price gets the discount.
Exactly. A loyalty app for McDonald's, ticker MCID, operates differently. It harvests granular data. The app knows your ordering history, your frequency, and the specific time of day you usually make a purchase.
So they know my exact habits.
Down to the minute. Instead of lowering the price of a burger for the entire country, the app sends a customized discount directly to your phone right before your habitual lunchtime.
Wow. So they are essentially predicting behavior to protect their own margins.
They are optimizing the exact minimum discount required to secure your transaction.
That is wild.
Yeah, if they know you will buy a meal for full price on Fridays, they will not offer you a discount then. But if they see you have not visited on a Tuesday in a month, they send a targeted push notification with a deal to pull you in.
And to me, the consumer, it just feels like a lucky break.
Right, it feels like personalized value to you, the cautious consumer. But for the company, it is a highly efficient way to capture the trade-down diner without sacrificing baseline pricing power.
Because they aren't giving the store away to everyone.
Exactly. It keeps you coming back to their app instead of wandering over to a competitor.
That level of data utilization is intense.
Yeah.
But what happens when trading down at the drive-thru still does not balance the household ledger? The consumer retreats entirely to their own kitchen, right?
That is the final step, yes.
This brings us to the ultimate defensive move: groceries and diversified delivery. Let's look at the at-home food retailers. Walmart, ticker WMT, Kroger, ticker KRR, and Costco, ticker COST.
Well, pressured by inflation and fuel, households run the math. They realize that bulk purchases and cooking at home provide the highest calorie-to-dollar ratio.
Which is undeniable.
Right. A consumer can purchase a week's worth of frozen meals or bulk ingredients at Costco, ticker COST, for the equivalent cost of just 2 casual dining experiences.
2 meals versus 20 meals.
Exactly. When consumer confidence drops, these retailers simply absorb the dollars that were previously allocated to restaurant takeout.
Now, this is where the mechanics get a bit counterintuitive for me. We established that Domino's is losing delivery orders because consumers hate the fees.
Right.
By that logic, shouldn't the pure delivery platforms be panicking right alongside them? Why are the aggregators, specifically DoorDash, ticker DASH, and Uber, ticker UBER, insulated from this specific pullback? Aren't they charging a premium too?
They do charge a premium, but they possess a distinct platform advantage, which is diversified exposure.
Diversified exposure.
Yeah, the aggregators have evolved well beyond just delivering restaurant food. They built a comprehensive logistics layer.
So it is not just about bringing me a burger anymore.
No, they offer grocery delivery, convenience store runs, alcohol delivery, and access to a vast network of thousands of different restaurant brands.
Let me make sure I'm tracing this financial flow correctly.
Yeah.
For DoorDash and Uber, loyalty to a specific restaurant brand is completely irrelevant, right?
Completely irrelevant.
As long as the digital card is full and moving through their system, whether it is premium sushi, a fast food burger, or a week's worth of frozen dinners from a grocery store, the aggregator wins the transaction fee.
That is the core strength of their model. They are entirely agnostic to the specific item you consume.
They just want you using their rails.
Right. If Domino's loses market share to a different quick service option on a third-party platform, the aggregators just process the new transaction. Furthermore, these platforms rely on subscription models like DashPass or Uber One.
Which makes people feel like they need to use the app to get their money's worth.
Exactly. These subscriptions mask the per-transaction fee and lock the consumer into their ecosystem. If a diner decides Brinker International, ticker EAT, is too expensive, but they still want the convenience of not leaving the house, They will use DoorDash, ticker DASH, to order bulk groceries to cook at home.
So they have essentially built a safety net that catches the consumer's dollar, regardless of where they land on the spending spectrum.
That is exactly what they have done.
If you trade down from casual dining to fast food, Uber still delivers it. If you trade down from fast food to groceries, DoorDash still delivers it. The platform model protects them from the specific brand fatigue and margin traps that individual restaurants face.
They simply collect a toll on the logistics of moving food from point A to point B, regardless of what that food actually is. The aggregators have positioned themselves as the underlying infrastructure for consumption.
That is an incredibly comprehensive look at exactly how a single data point, a sales miss from one pizza company, maps out clear winners and losers across the entire sector.
It really highlights the interconnected nature of the consumer economy.
Yeah, we see the pressure on the pizza chains and casual dining, and we see the defensive rotation into fast food value, groceries, and diversified delivery.
And, as we monitor these changing habits, there is a broader question for you to consider.
Oh, what is that?
Well, we are watching consumers actively negotiate their budgets, trading down from premium to casual to fast food and eventually to groceries. As the gap between restaurant pricing and grocery costs becomes a central focus for cautious consumers, will the very definition of what we consider a value meal change entirely?
That is a great point.
Will a fast food combo still represent value to you, or will the consumer redefine value strictly as meals prepared at home?
It is definitely something to watch this all plays out. Make sure to remember, this is not financial advice or buy or sell recommendations. This is purely the opinion of the author. Thank you for joining the conversation today. See you next time.